There's also just insane initiation from long range. If you just slow people down, you can go flying. Wait a second.
Oh, we talked about KazaLoLLCShighlights, the master. Getting closer and closer to that point, but the stopwatch still not available. Walling him in. He's not going to be able to escape this one. He's going to try to flash to safety, but the auto connects.
Carry Ezreal sort of go back to the physical damage as Cabo just nukes it.
Yeah, trying to extend that trade. Uses the Cutlass for the slow. A few more autos. Wants to get forward. Oh, buying a bit more time, but playing that one so well.
No.
Oh, no. Oh, man. Baited, outsmarted, so well played.
It was such a bait, but here comes Mowgli, here comes Jackdaw, and the rest of Vitality.
Flashing forward, Mowgli's just going to move in. He should just be able to take this one down. Bwippo's still alive.
Wait, what?
Bwippo.
Jackdaw?
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry.
What? Tower. Jackdaw's like, yeah, I'll heal you, and then I'll leave.
Now they're going to continue to extend the play, though. They've decided they want a little bit more. Bwippo, no stopwatch left this time. Vitality are fully committed for a little bit of revenge. They will get it that time.
One top lane, place it, and get the full 5 plates before 14 minutes.
I mean, the reality is that this map has collapsed.
Ooh, bit of miscommunication there. Jackdaw tries to extend the play with the ultimate, but now it looks like Jackdaw could go down here. Miscommunication now costing them. Jackdaw absolutely going to die. They may just fall up immediately. They turn their attention. They use Lissandra ult on the 80 carry, and they make it all too easy. Double dropping for Reckless on the bottom.
Brings us back to sort of the criticisms that we have seen from this 2v2 in the past.
Definitely a question mark moving forward into the game. Cannot afford to not be on
having the CDR as well as the extra health and infinite sustain to just sit up into this tower. Bwippo was never going to move him from that point.
And while Vitality have a lot of advantages right now, specifically around KazaLoLLCShighlights, I think we have to talk about how this team actually looks to play game and look for that matchup.
Now trying to punish the Gangplank ult does come out. They're looking for the initiation. Nemesis is going to commit using the snare first. Where's the ultimate going to go? Taliyah Wall now coming in. Fnatic find themselves caught in the middle of the play here. Jizuke now knocked out, but Brox has a lot of damage if they can continue to lock him down. Mowgli now on the retreat, turning back for Hylissang. Hylissang now in trouble, knocked back under the tower. Will they continue the play? No, Vitality gets the better. Mowgli wants to re-engage. Beautiful ultimate from Attila. Jackdaw ready to follow up. Now continuing forward. KazaLoLLCShighlights off to the side. Here comes the calling, and Fnatic are going to get ripped to pieces if Cabo can get the autos out, but now he's in trouble. He's in the middle of a death carthage, and here comes the ultimate. How many kills will Brox get? That's one going through. Cabo just barely living. What a bloody fight.
Vitality got the first kill, but they couldn't continue the fight. They have no ability to team fight with this composition. Fnatic were able to stall out, kite back, stay alive for long enough. They were able to turn the fight completely around and try to get this mid tower.
It was also the fact that Reckless was practically untouched for the longest time, sitting on full health. The Vayne eventually just walked through them.
Now
Their
sitting
attention to the Ocean Drake. We'll see if Jizuke can do anything to contest it. No, just throws down the wall. Is going to continue to extend the play, though. Looks like they may try to catch someone out. TP coming in from behind, though. Jizuke getting knocked back over the wall. Has to be careful. No flash after the last fight. Bwippo is right behind him. It is a split fight, but attention is now shifted towards Reckless. He does get knocked up. Beautiful ulti coming in from Jackdaw. Reckless should drop here. Mowgli does grab the kill, but it is a 1-for-1 in the end. Mid laner
around this Baron, rather than KazaLoLLCShighlights knocking on towers and getting an eventual inhibitor, which is what they want.
Now the engage is coming through. Jizuke once again caught out. They're trying to find the disengagement. Jizuke just gets absolutely blown up. Nemesis is next, though. Reckless off to the side. Cabo ready to find the fight if he can. It's a split fight overall. Cabo over the wall. A difficult position to be in, but now the ultimate coming in for Broxa. Jackdaw running forward, knowing he's dead anyway, hoping to get concussive blows off. But with another member down, the fight now in favor
of Ocean Drake that's spawning, or the ever-present Baron Nashor. Vitality are constantly playing this game where they want to go in.
Mowgli trying to find the engage. Jackdaw here for the follow-up. They have to be careful, though. Unbreakable already used. Attila off to the side. Nemesis looking for the re-engage. They're now backing off. Bwippo has used the ultimate. Ultimate now coming in for Carthage. That's going to be 2 quick kills. Hylissang going to keep the ball rolling. Double dropping for Broxa. They want one more. Hylissang flashing forward, looking for that auto. Will not be able to grab it, but the ultimate is there from Nemesis. The engage is clean. It will keep the fight going. Beautiful. That is a 2-item Vayne. Every 2 hits is the true damage proccing on this Baron. It is just going to shred right through.
And it's the fact that Bwippo has already kind of herded the rest of Vitality like cats towards the complete opposite side. They know that they've got a massive death timer on Mowgli, and Bwippo had full eyes of where everyone else for Vitality was.
Yeah, Bwippo, by the way, who got counterpicked miserably, got hard camped by Mowgli and Jizuke, and is still keeping relevant.
See a lot of damage getting put down onto Nemesis, but the Gangplank ult just forcing Jizuke even further back as this tower is now set to fall. Still a walking face first from Jungle. Has to be careful, but not concerned. Knows it's just Hylissang. Hylissang maybe overstaying is welcome. After shocking down Proc, he is going to get knocked back. Beautiful use of the Blast Cone. That's going to be a free pick. Will Nemesis try to extend? Will just back Fnatic. Dominating in every lane, pushing every lane out at this stage, and ready to just kind of threatening Vitality, saying, come at us. Try to start a fight. See what happens.
I mean, Vitality, they're looking for like the miracle throw from Fnatic right here. Maybe they just find someone out of position, snap, blow them up. Or at this point, you're trying to stall out the game long enough while everyone in comms is like, okay, what happens for game number 2?
Yeah, I mean, we all remember Fnatic versus G2, right?
And you either have to choose, you either go the Hex Tech Gunblade or you go for your Blade of the Ruined King. I like the emphasis on kind of the AP burst.
Just finished the Rabadon's Death Cap as well. It's probably the best spike you can look for, but Hillsang on the flank.
Flank now looking for the fight, looking for the engage. Is going to use Righteous Glory now, leaping forward, wants to knock Attila right back into the team, and the follow-up is there immediately. Reckless is just going to tear through them. The double for the Vayne. Reckless wants to keep it going, has to be careful. Flashes forward, unconcerned. Out comes the Requiem. Bye-bye to Jizuke.
Oh!
That's another one dropped. Mowgli running for his life now as well. Ulti still connects as well. The animation was already finished. Mowgli now set to fall. Another kill dropping for Fnatic.
And the hard engage found Vitality, which means it's not only going to be the Baron, but surely the game at this point. Fnatic have everything, including coming up to a 10k gold lead.
Yeah, Fnatic, they're duoing the Baron while the other 3 members, because everyone stayed alive on their side, are still going to be pushing up. Cabochard couldn't TP into that fight. He was recalling in bottom lane when Fnatic found their mark, and 2 inhibitors will surely fall.
And Hillsang has been fishing for that flank for at least 5 minutes now. He finally finds it. And the game is just now set to end. 2 inhibitors dropping. They can't look to turn the fight onto Nemesis, but the rest of Fnatic now set up to collapse. Hillsang ready for one more headbutt pulverize. But instead, they set their sights on the inhibitor and they retreat. With 2 down, though, without a composition that does well in these fights, you have to feel like Vitality are just planning for game 2.
Or gonna TP in and try if this is the last ditch effort. They must make a play like this, but it's a Talia on the flank and she's gonna set up the wall.
Oh no.
Hillsang's here.
Oh no.
Bye-bye. Oh, wait a second.
Jizuke, I believe, has finished the death cap now. That is one terrifying Talia. We have hit the late game status, but no one else is here. He's trying desperately to run. Does manage to get a bit of damage down, but only a mid laner killed.
Or maybe just the hard engage.
Ulti comes down for the gangplank, just slow and steady is the name of the game. Hillsang stepping forward, threatening. Everyone knows that headbutt pulverize hits, you die. That is the name of the game right now. One final desperate team fight is all that's left for Vitality. Maybe, just maybe they can extend the game a little bit longer, but it is definitely in Fnatic in absolute control. With the cannon minions here, you have to feel like it is just a matter of time. Vitality needs to start a fight or just end the game on the side of Fnatic. Super's pushing in on the top side as well. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of avenues left.
Hillsang bringing the minions up towards the tower. Fnatic are saying, come to us or your base will be destroyed. They hit the tower once, it falls. Vitality have nothing left to save them.
Taking their time, Jizuke off to the side, looking for the wall, looking to split up the team at least a little bit, hoping to find that perfect angle, hoping to split up the team. Reckless off on his lonesome, off to the side. They're now kicking the fight off. Reckless is not in the fight. That could be an issue stepping forward. Cabo leaping into Broxa. Brox is so incredibly low, but does have the ultimate available. If he gets killed, he will still be able to full channel the ult. But Fnatic, they are simply too far ahead in this game. They set their sights on the Nexus, and they're going to take game 1.
Jarvan. Xayah has so much protection if you see that they're all going to go in and try to dive on back to you. So Reckless needs to be picture perfect on this Kai'Sa.
And here's the survivability tools. He's going to be in a much better spot.
But now we see a departure from what was the game 1 strategy. They think they're safe. They think no one's going to come.
Baby.
They think it's just going to be topside, but they're oh so wrong. Reckless trying to make it out to safety. He can't click the lantern, and that's first blood. Take
With
it.
Jizuke, they're trying to punish Brox, who's trying to counter jungle up here.
Brock's going to be in a tough spot. He's going to be sleepy. He has to be dead. There's literally no way out here. Beautiful start for Vitality.
Gonna get hooked up here. Hillsang, will he pull the trigger? With Broxa waiting in the wings, they're looking for the counter gank.
Trying to keep it going, looking to stack some concussive blows, but immediately the TP's coming back. Fnatic classic. Jack Troll now in trouble, is all but set to die. Blippo now stepping forward. Can he get out of the chains? Does manage to step away. Jack Troll just barely maybe going to be able to live, but the flash forward. Broxa going to be able to grab it in the
Minions as well as these plates.
And there's no Herald here. So we are just seeing the Ocean Drake being given over for free. That's going to make a lot of these lanes a lot easier for Fnatic. The jungle, especially Brock's in a position where he can donate future blue buffs because that Ocean will keep him topped up in the jungle, keep him clearing quick. So a difficult spot to be in because for top lane, especially when you're living on that island, Whippo having that extra regen is frustrating, but now potentially overextending as they're going to try to get the play started. Will the ulti even come out? Whippo just going to get taken down instantly.
Mowgli has been up here.
And getting this tower first before the cannon is going to put Vitality in a bit of a difficult spot.
Especially because as we keep kind of asking this question, what's better, the Aatrox being behind or the Tristana being behind? It's 3 items versus 2, but Whippo in mid.
Well, that thought Whippo has now used the ultimate. It's going to be a sleepy Aatrox. They're going to try to burn through here. Resurrection coming out. Will be able to walk away safely.
Lucky, but just teams lose their minds when they approach Whippo.
Your absolute overwhelming desire to dive this man blinds you. Now there's a TP. Oh,
Really?
guys, leave Whippo alone. And it looks like Vitality realizing that their only play here is to fully commit to the bottom side. You can see Reckless on the top side. Fnatic are going to have the tempo advantage, no doubt. But it's a desperate TP to try to get something back on the side of Vitality. But this is going to be their first tower of the game, as they haven't been able to get anything else. And Fnatic, this is their second.
On the other side of the map, Jizuke has completely run himself out of mana, and the 3 members of Fnatic in the mid lane. Oh, wait, what?
That tower's still there. They've lost control of the bottom lane. They've lost control of the top
They're gonna get
lane.
it eventually, Frost. Don't you worry. But it takes so long.
Okay.
This is actually disaster, because the thing is like you were saying,
in this early game, but it's a different story when it comes to the team play than game 1, because game 1, Fnatic had the scaling, they had the team fight, Vitality had nothing. Oh boy.
Hold on.
He's gonna get out scot-free, but the difference is now Vitality are the ones with the...
Oh,
what?
Jizuke!
What?
Did you forget about the... They always forget about the Karthus. Ladies and gentlemen, you have 200, 300 less health than you think you do, and that means that Brox is just going to grab a kill.
and these are these uncharacteristic mistakes that you can just not make against one of our top teams like Fnatic. You know, if Jizuke survives there and he's able to wave clear, you're delaying a little bit more. I'm like, you know, the issue with Fnatic's comp is they don't have the hard engage if Nemesis isn't also helping them push that mid lane.
They want to 5-man and knock down this tower, and with Fnatic split up in side lanes, they don't have the numbers to be able to contest.
Noah Sang looking for the hook. Not going to find it there in the end. Reckless will move careful here, as this has turned against Vitality once or twice already. But Whippo now, I think, willing to take the fight here. If his ultimate does fall off, he's going to find himself in a tough position. Now stepping forward, realizing that he may have overstayed, but the auto attack actually going to block it, so we get his health back.
This is real bad for Vitality.
Over, Reckless on the way off. All it's going to take is a little bit of CC, and Kaiser's going to come flying in, and there it is! Reckless on cleanup duty. 2 kills instantly picked up.
Committing for these small skirmishes, they lose 2 members. They're going to lose a tower in the mid lane, and
It's a
full
dive.
pressure on the map.
The flash play. Jizuke now trying to sidestep his way out of there, but Brox on a killing spree. Now locked up Mowgli. Oh no, he's just gonna get taken down once again. Reckless grabbing the kill as well, and instantly a massive gold lead.
That means it's low until it just has to finish him off.
I'm not even gonna say anything for that one.
Okay.
Respect to this Fnatic lineup, because you just... First half of the season, everyone, I think, thought that they were done, but the way that they have turned it around in the second half has
So
been...
confident right now.
Vitality also have minions here in the mid lane. They're trying to siege down under this tower. This is a very brief window of time where Vitality have control over the map because of the mistake.
Now
No,
trying to
Cabo!
engage.
Oh!
They're all immediately Cabo trying to leap in. Brock's not going to get taken down. Now Cabo goes golden, but in the middle of the team, there's no ultimate available. He's just going to get taken out. Meanwhile, on the backside, until it gets 1, going to try to find 2, but the stopwatch is there from Blippo. And they're going to back off, instantly turned back. Now, Fnatic overstay for the Baron, but it's Vitality who overstay in mid lane.
Vitality, they had the window, but they went way too far.
Oh, Reckless on a rampage. Instant TP.
So at just 24 minutes, Fnatic will claim that objective. They're looking to go up 2-0. They're looking to carry all the momentum into game
Fnatic
3.
are way in the lead. So after the Lyssandra's dead, they've still got a ton left in the tank.
Not only that, but Fnatic's composition.
For his life, and he will make it out. Flash is forced in the end, however.
It's about the best thing they could get in this situation, but you got 5 people towards the bottom side of the map. Reckless just needs a few seconds with this tower to knock it down to Vitality. They need to find an engagement, it feels like, around one of these towers, because if they don't, Fnatic have the tools, just split up the map, knock down these towers.
At this point, where his ulti is going to take half of someone's health away.
And if you talk about items, this is the second game in a row that Nemesis on Lysandra has gone for the Mejai Stole Stealer as well. So you can just feel how confident Fnatic are in this game. Again, it's a 3-1-1 push at the moment because this top inhibitor is exposed. They are so close to knocking it down. You see Vitality have to send so many members to defend.
It also means that it denies that 10-in ultimate on multiple members again. By splitting up the map, by funneling everything into Vitality, they need to pick. You know, are we going to go for a pick, or are we going to try to flank the other 4 members? And they're picking neither. They're actually just watching themselves lose the game.
All 3 inhibitors are now set to fall. Baron buff still up for 45 seconds. I don't think Fnatic are going to go for the win here. Jizuke desperately trying to get something back, clear out a few of these minions to the top of the standings. Fnatic securing 3rd in what was, for many, what felt like a miracle run towards the end of the split.
Very true traditional tank, because Attila now needs to be able to fight front to back, and he needs Mowgli to create that zone, that space for him, and he needs to do it right about now.
Whippo, though, now looking to push in for a bit more. There's a TP on the flank. Cabo Shard, it could all come down to this. One ultimate, but Mowgli's already almost dead. Cabo, where's he going to go? Flash forward, wants to get in on a Reckless, but he can't quite get into range. The stun is beautiful. It denies the engage. Until the entire team is going to get taken out here. But flashing forward, he will get the 1-for-1 trade. But no, in comes the ultimate from Karthus. Fnatic now trying to clean house. There's nothing left for Jizuke. He goes golden, but it's just a matter of time. The Skittle not going to be able to pop as the flash does come out. But Fnatic setting their sights on the base. Vitality finding themselves caught against a wall. Fnatic absolutely absolutely dominating across both of these games. They are one win away from taking the series.
Oh,
man, what do they give to Bwipo now? Looks like Sion going into the top lane.
It's the hard engage that they needed. Fnatic, they need this lane. Yasuo has the ability to engage on him very quickly, and that can make it difficult, especially when he's running the teleport up against Jizuke's Ignite.
Jizuke, of course, getting an early level advantage could be huge. It has the tornado now stacked up. Flashing backwards, use the tornado for the double knockup. Now needs to dash through. Jizuke looking for another creep to get out the wind wall. Not going to be useful. First blood dropping for Broxa.
Yeah, Jizuke actually did play that well once the engage came in, but bottom lane's going very aggressive, getting heated. Not having the grass, can't really proc it relatively easily in that lane.
Not against Jace.
My goodness.
Hook landing, multiple points of action on the map. We've got our eyes on KazaLoLLCShighlights. Knockup is going to come down, and Bwipo grabbing the kill after being... Kayle a little bit more terrifying at level 6 if she can get to the max stacks, but hold that thought because Attila has died on the bottom side. Huge confidence play coming from
Ability in the laning phase. I hold my breath because Nemesis is in trouble.
Knocked back immediately, and the Yasuo going to come out, but now Jizuke is in the midst of the entire team. Nemesis pulling back. They might look for the re-engage to find more. Already the knockup going down, and the Bwipo, he's trying to lock his target down. Wants the bite. He's going to get the ultimate coming out. Jizuke can't flash that one. No option to do it. Broxa getting another Fnatic with the turnaround here in the mid lane.
And it's all Broxa. He does so much damage. They're just diving. What?
Oh, no. This is an absolute slaughter. Ultimate going to be used from Attila there, but still the stopwatch is clutch as Hylissang will manage to survive.
And it's Reckless and Hilly having the confidence to make a play like that. It's Broxa, round 2.
Is he going to go for anything else?
Bye-bye.
3-0-2 on Rex side.
We wanted to see just the sheer amount of burst damage that Sivir can have if you tank the full Boomerang Blade, but now going to move forward. They're trying to back off, and it looks like at the end of the day, Bwipo may give his life, but they used Rift Channel there in that exchange, and the channel was canceled, so Bwipo's going to go down, but trades his life for that cooldown to clear
everything on the map. Up 4.6 thousand gold. Let's just go ahead and make that 5K here as they're just going to look to dive mid.
Oh, Jizuke tried to go in, saw Nemesis stepping under tower, but the entire team is now on the way. He's getting the reset on the passive, but it is simply not enough. Broxa now on a rampage. Fans wondered in Game 2, why give him the Karthus again? And it's because if you give him an early game jungler, he is going to make an impact.
Fnatic played the slow and steady game 2 times in a row. Vitality couldn't deal with it. They had to change things up, but that meant giving Broxa the Rek'Sai. Once again, here we go. It's a dive top.
Bwipo so incredibly tanky. Broxa now just going to step forward, walking this kill down, knocked back, but Bwipo going to be able to back away in the end. The ulti comes out. Broxa grabs another one. Mowgli is going to be able to grab the shutdown. Hylissang now caught under the tower. Mowgli going to do what he can to delete this wave, but they're stepping forward to grab a bit more. Broxa unstoppable. 3 stacks looking for the 4th, but we're going to try to step forward, the flash forward to keep it going. They don't really have the damage for this one, but Hylissang just hits him with it anyway.
Calm down, buddy. You're not getting that kill. Vitality actually trying to respond. Notice Jack Troll on the flank, but his Moby boots were canceled by the Wolf Camp that I think Attila aggroed. They're trying to make the play, but the
cast coming out to disengage in the end, though.
It's the wall. Braum is such a good counter in towards the Gragas. You throw up the shield, and then Jack Troll gets bait for the dive.
The hook now landing him back, but he's going to give his own life for this exchange. The rocket comes in. Maybe they're going to be able to grab 2 in the end. That's something given back with the TP now coming in. KazaLoLLCShighlights here as well. Nemesis level 11. The Kayle is ranged. Jizuke ready to turn this fight. Bwipo will die in the zombie form in the end, and Cabo may look to extend the play here. Nemesis, Divine Judgment available. He's going to use the ultimate in just a second, trying to get a bit more damage down. Knocked away to stop that from coming through. Vitality desperate to extend this play to get a little bit more here.
The only devastating thing is the fact that it was Mowgli that picked up that double kill right there. This could be a completely different game if it's Jinx that's getting those big kills and is able to snowball herself into the Infinity Edge.
I agree with you 100%, but if there has been a player on Vitality that has consistently been performing well this series, it has been Mowgli. His early games have been good. He's finally on a champion that is dealing damage. I say, yes, it's not ideal, but give him what you have. He now has the Sork shoes as well as the Runic Echoes. Deal some damage, blow people up with the Gragas Yasuo combo. They've been making it happen all game.
And Nemesis now continuing to push forward. Maybe look for a little bit more damage here. Once 5 stacks get kicked out, the knockup now going to come through. Windwall going to block everything, but Nemesis just walks right past it and finds his kill. Absolutely brutal. And you know, every game it seems like Vitality, maybe they've got an avenue back in, but every game Fnatic are more and more
force out of the jungle. What can't this team do? How high can they go?
Bwipo, though, now in trouble. Kayle now coming down. Ultimate could just be used on Bwipo to keep him alive, and it will be. KazaLoLLCShighlights now going to find himself in trouble. The stacks are going to come in for the Kayle. Once she gets those flame waves, it's going to be so much harder. You can see Mowgli taking so much damage in the exchange, and the On the Hunt has been used. Predator, I don't know if it's going to be enough. Hylissang throws out the ultimate. No trace for Mowgli. If he steps back, he dies. If he steps forward, he gets hit. Now trying to run as Broxa flashes forward, gives the kill to Reckless, goes under, comes right back up, and Nemesis on a rampage.
Fnatic are just going to keep pushing right here. They have minion waves. Vitality just look look completely out of sorts. They try to once again bully Bwipo in the silane, but Fnatic are having absolutely none of it.
And it was the credit to make sure that when they approached the tower that they grabbed the aggro instead of the minion wave, which I believe only had 2 minions on it, so that they could push through like this. Now they've got the full minion wave very fresh behind them, and it's the difference between not getting a tower and getting an inhib tower on that decision to just say, I've got the aggro, guys.
Look, Fnatic's early game in the second half of the split was so good. Spearheaded by Broxa, they actually had more impressive stats in the early game. In the second half, Tilsing gets on out of there. Jacktroll's really trying to catch him.
Yeah, desperately running forward, but there's not a lot of damage here. Nemesis is going to cut through him, but the ultimate now coming in. We'll be able to finish it off with the help of Jinx, but it's a 1-for-1 trade. Combo steps forward, but it's a very strong KO. It does get taken down. Nemesis on the edge of death. He's going to manage to live. He's going to manage to Attila flashes forward. Once the reset takes a lot of damage, though. Out comes the ultimate. Bye to Attila. They still manage to find the turn.
That's just not even fair.
The one thing we're missing now is like the Vitality comeback to make it at least a close game. Make them work for it.
Zuke now going to try to find something with Attila. They're going to interrupt the knock up there. That's going to be huge, but Attila's still going to get ulted out by Brox. Brox is going to look for the true damage. It's going to be a huge bite here. Doesn't even need it. Just uses the Queen's Fury. Zuke now on the retreat. Does get the knock up. Nemesis just cutting through the team. Fnatic playing the team
to 1v5. It's 20 minutes in. The Baron is gone.
Oh, Hilly!
Jacktroll's in trouble.
Nosy standing right next to the blast cone.
No.
Another sacrifice. A TP used onto the top side.
Mowgli died too.
The victory lap for Fnatic has been the story of Game 3. Domination from the start of the game. Broxa has been absolutely everywhere, and every single member of this team has an incredible scoreline.
I think the biggest problem Fnatic are facing right now is who actually gets MVP. That's it.
And you don't want to count a team out in a best of 5, but when you can do that,
really?
It just feels over. And
oh my, look, he's literally on the Nexus 1v3. He does not care.
Hook comes in, he's just going to keep it going. Does he get the chance to use the ultimate as well? He does, that's the double kill, wants a few more. They're walking right into the fountain, they just keep beating him. That's the Quadra. Is he going to get the Penta? I cannot believe it!
Penta kill for Nemesis. The series is over.
And a reminder to all of Europe, Fnatic did not come into this split to compete. They came to dominate.
Well, Dracos, I think Nemesis answered my question. MVP goes to him.
Remember the name. It's no longer Fnatic Caps. Nemesis got thrown a lot of shade from the community early on. And yes, he gets the pentakill, so it looks really nice, but he was clean this entire series through. He has completely been one of the fundamental pieces that turned this around for Fnatic. His synergy with Broxa, his zone control for Reckless. This guy is a monster for playoffs.
I am just blown away at how clean this team looks. They completely turned things around. Every single player for Fnatic is just stepping up to the challenge. They make Vitality look like easy competition. They go 3-0 against them in very quick form.
And thank you, Broxa, for joining me. Congratulations on making it further. So now I want to know, because when I talked to Bwipo last week or 2 weeks ago, he told me that you wanted to face Vitality no matter what. So, okay, smart move, obviously, but why?
Well, I think it showed today that we match up pretty well against Vitality. Their main strategy throughout the split and even last year has always been playing for top lane, just trying to snowball through top, and we were pretty confident that Bwipo would be able to dodge most of the ganks and most of the potential dives coming at him. And at the same time, just individually, I think we match up pretty well against them. And yeah, our control-based style just matches up really well against the top-centered, spam ganking top style. I think we showed why we picked them today.
I agree with you, but it makes me wonder is it Vitality underperforming lately, or do you think that teams are catching up on them?
I feel like it's hard to say. I think in the past weeks in the LEC, there's been so many weird things happening and everything has been shaking up, and Vitality definitely has been one of the teams looking a bit weaker. But at the same time, you know, it's hard to say if they would look as weak if they were playing on one of the other playoff teams, right? I just think we match up so well against them, and we had a really good game plan coming into today, so it was hard for them to, you know, grab the leads they needed to win the games.
Yeah, it came flawless from you today, even though they did their homework, especially with the level 1 strat. They were expecting it. Do you feel like it's a strategy overused from you guys?
I think generally it's kind of funny how people always expect us to cheese level 1, and I heard so many interviews coming into the day where people said that Fnatic has to cheese level 1 to win, and if they don't late invade or cheese level 1, then they're not a pretty weak team. And today we showed that even if we play completely normally, if we just play a slow, a normal game, then we are just as strong as we are when we make level 1 plans right. So I think the whole meme of Fnatic having to cheese to win games is kind of overused, and we are definitely scary regardless if we cheese or not.
All right, so outside of the memes, what did you guys prepare against them coming in today?
Sorry, what?
What did you guys prepare against Vitality coming today?
Well, I guess one of the main things was looking at how to survive the top lane focus. How do we make sure that we put Weibo in a position to avoid dying to all these ganks, and especially with a draft like the first one where they played Lucian, Talia, Jarvan, it was pretty scary for us. How we knew that we had to try to find a way to keep Weibo alive in order for the Lucian not to snowball out of control, but generally we had pretty good communication on when they could make a play top. Weibo was really aware of this. Sometimes he dropped a few waves to make sure he didn't die, and we just played really well around it because we knew what was coming.
It makes me sad in a way, because when I did my preparation this week, I was expecting to see an Urgot in the jungle. Everybody was expecting so, and we didn't see any, even in the banning phase. So how do you explain that?
I think Urgot jungle is definitely a thing right now. Whether it's going to be played or not, not going to comment too much on that. I guess time will tell, but it's definitely something to look out for.
All right, so moving forward, you will face whoever wins tomorrow. It's going to be either Splice or SK Gaming. Who do you think will take it?
I think it's pretty hard to say, honestly. Splice and SK match up pretty closely against each other, in my opinion. But I would give a small edge to Splice. Like, I would probably predict Splice 3-1 or 3-2.
All right, interesting insight. We'll see about this tomorrow. Thank you, Roxa, for joining me. We still have many things to say about this series, so let's send it over to Shox for PGL.
If you have a good answer, and if you don't,
welcome everyone to the LEC post-game lobby after the first day of playoffs. It was a swift one. My name is Shox. I'm here with the Fisho, Reckless, and Hilly-sang at Fisho's Been Here All Day. You guys just joined. Congratulations. We of course already heard from Broxa. Maybe Hilly, you first. Why do you think it was such a quick 3-0 for you guys today?
I think we just know how to not lose against them, and this is giving us advantage. And we knew their weaknesses, and we knew how to basically how they win the games. So that basically gave us like huge advantage to the game, and we knew how to abuse their weaknesses as well. So I think we're just good match against Vitality, and it showed.
Yeah, I'm hearing that a lot also from the analysts, like it's just a good matchup, but you also played well yourselves, right, Reckless? Or do you think you didn't have to put in 100% today?
I think they made a lot of mistakes, but at the same time, we're not really making any of our own, so I guess you could say that we're playing well. It's just, as Hilly said, it's kind of easy for us because we know how they want to win the game, so we can just like make a plan around that. And in this case, it was through top lane, so we just made sure Bwipo was at least in an okay state, and then we knew that eventually, we would take over from the bot lane. So in the first game, they kind of gave it to us with the play that you actually see on screen right now. But even then, if this game goes on for another 10, 15, 20 minutes, I'm going to get my items, and then we just win, right? Yeah. Same thing kind of happens for the second game, where we outscale once again. And then the third game, we have more of an equal scaling, I would say, with the Sivir versus Jinx. But in that case, we killed them 2-2 twice.
Really, do you ever think you were like playing 2v2? Or do you feel when you're playing this game with your team behind you that it's just like, no, it doesn't matter? Because even if we mess up here, we know we're going to have the big plan and win the game.
I mean, it depends. Like, all these games, it felt like in the beginning it wasn't 2v2. Like, we always got some enemy jungle advantage. Like, enemy was like kind of pressuring, even though he was not showing. We respected a lot. So it didn't feel like in the beginning, in the first 3 levels, that we had 2v2. It always felt like we're getting ganked. And then after like level 4 and 5, it felt like we're playing 3v2 because we had the jungle on our side and they had the jungle on top side. So I think it didn't really feel like a 2v2 matchup.
Yeah.
But once it was 2v2, I feel like even in a losing matchup, we could win it. So I think it was very good.
Yeah, the difference just looked very big today, didn't it?
Yeah, I really like that Fnatic didn't really have to show anything new. You know, they had 2 weeks to prepare for this, and they came in playing effectively the same style that we have seen in the last couple of weeks, like the Splice game you guys win, that gives us where you guys log in 3rd place. Kind of the same, you know, get a couple of kills on bottom side, Nemesis roams down, Broxah plays towards the lane, and the same thing happened here. I think Vitality, sadly for them, not the strongest late game team, so that was never going to be a way to win. And not really good at playing around the bottom side without overextending or maybe going aggressive at the wrong times. No TP top side, 4 members are just shown from Fnatic, or whatever it is. It gives a couple of easy kills over to Reckless every time, and then it's uphill.
Yeah, it was. Also, some specifics. Bwipo got camped really hard in that first game and second game. Can you tell us about maybe the comms at that point? Because 2 times he just turns it around. He even kills them in the first game and completely negates all the pressure they put on him. Was he being his usual self?
I mean, I thought he was fully aware that this was going to happen. So
yeah.
He was mentally prepared for the moment that it were happening, but at the same time we were kind of surprised, you know, to see him come out ahead. In the first game with, I think it was GP, and then in the last game here where he cancelled Herald, and I think he almost got out as well on the Sion. So, I mean, maybe not every top laner can do this, where they just tank the pressure so much, but we knew Bwipo could, so we were kind of confident or comfortable with our plan of him just, you know, doing his thing up there and the rest of us trying to snowball as much as possible.
Yeah, it feels like it goes back to, you know, Vitality is going to do this, so you're just prepping for it.
Yeah, I think he got surprised by one gank only once in the whole series, which was he got ganked on the 4th wave or 5th wave. Then he knew it was coming. Then on the 6th wave, he got ganked again. He knew it was coming. Then he thought enemy jungle backed off, and he did Herald. Meanwhile, took Herald, and then he got ganked on the 8th wave again. And then he was shocked. He was like, "Oh my god, he's still top lane!" And he just died. And it was kind of. He said, "It's my bad, you know, I should have expected that." But it was really shocking that he spent 3 minutes top lane, and he fell behind so much on levels and stuff.
But it's actually great to see, because I feel like last year, there was only one playstyle from Bwipo top lane, which was very much aggressive, try and win lane very hard.
Or tank, yeah.
Or he could be stuck on the tank, obviously. Even then, he would probably try and win his lane if he could. And now I think he talked about this as well on Euphoria, about trusting that someone else on the map can actually be the win condition, so you don't have to be the one to do it. He could have gone for 1 million fights top. He could have called Broxah up there multiple times, said we can 2v2 these guys or whatever, but he didn't have to.
I had Cartasol.
He did have KazaLoLL. It was very useful, obviously, but it's good to see kind of that evolution and the growth from him.
I agree. As we're going down the line, we talked about 3 members already. Broxah is the key up player of the game with 59% of the votes. It was Bwipo, Reckless, or Broxah, and it doesn't happen often that you get beat, Reckless, because the fandom is just so strong. So it must mean that Broxah played really well. Can you guys confirm this?
Yeah, I think I mean, the Katas games, you know, he did his job, you know. It doesn't look impressive, but he got levels ahead, and he was doing a lot of damage in team fights. And the last game, Rek'Sai, he got a lot of levels advantage, and he was killing people, so I understand why he got the MVP.
Yeah, me too. Do you think in the last weeks he's just become more of his old self together with all of you?
I think he was always good. It's just when you're losing games, it's easy to pinpoint
the jungler
mistakes of each player. Meanwhile, we might still have them right now. It's just we're winning, so no one kind of tries to pinpoint anything. Everyone's just cheering and being happy, right? So
yeah, enjoy.
I don't think any of us were extremely boosted or anything in the beginning of the season, and now are gods. I think we're still the same players with the same strengths and weaknesses, but we're just winning now, so people don't, flame us.
Yeah, but something must have changed. I mean, it's not what you guys said in the beginning. We didn't change.
I mean, I think we just got good as a team. I don't think anyone got specifically good as a player. I mean, we were always good individually, so for me it was just a matter of time until we figured out how we play together, and once we did that, we started winning games.
Yeah.
So.
And now you're scary, and you have to go up maybe versus OG in the future, of course, not in the next round, but what do you think of this issue?
You have to respect Fnatic. I don't think you need to be too scared of Fnatic just yet. I'm not saying that they're going to be easy by any means, and you should 100% respect them as a team, but I don't know. I'm very interested in seeing how they're going to play against either Splice or SK in the next series. And then when they face G2 on the Saturday as well in Rotterdam, that's going to be an interesting matchup. So there's a lot of games we can scout before we get to play them.
Well, now that you mentioned it, let's take a look at the bracket, which is a bit more filled out. Fnatic, of course, advance to round 2, and then they'll face off against Splice or SK Gaming with the new system. And of course, then in round 2 next week, we'll also see G2 versus OG. So yeah, things are definitely hyping up in that regard. When you look at this now, you guys, I know your aspirations are to lift the trophy, of course, but how difficult do you think it's going to be?
You have anything good to say?
I don't know. I actually, even against Vitality, I respect like kinda every team in the same level, except maybe G2 with Mikex a bit above rest. But even like Vitality is very difficult opponent if you don't know how to beat them. So I think SK, Splice, OG, I think they're all the same and they're equally scary, for me at least.
Yeah.
And I respect all of them, and we can lose against them and we can trio them. So it's just matter of preparation, I think.
So it's G2 that is the biggest hurdle,
Yes.
which I think is logical. Yeah, the official?
Can I ask a little bit differently? I feel that the top teams are better this split than, let's say, last split, where you guys ended up facing Schalke. But obviously, you guys played against all these different teams. Do you guys also feel that the teams now are slightly better, so that it's a harder road towards the final, or is it exactly the same as last split?
Maybe there's 3 good teams now instead of 2. But even last year, misses are okay, you know. We were just really good. But they were okay in their semifinals against us. So I don't think it's too much of a difference. It's just like Yuli said, we need to prepare well. And if we don't, we are potentially going to lose against some of these teams, maybe all of these teams. Even today, I think if we didn't come in with the plan that we had, then maybe we could have lost today. So
Yeah, but you came in with a plan, which is the TLDR. So do
Yeah.
you think is there one team that's harder to prepare for than anyone else? Because when I look at it, I think, Splice, they have a pretty set style. SK, you also know what you're going to get. Selfmade's going to pop off. I'm not so sure about G2 and OG necessarily, because I think throughout the split, they've shown very different things at times. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
I think, as I said, OG is not very scary team. They have set playstyle and you know what to expect. But speaking of G2, they're the scary team if they play with Mikex and he's on his top form, and they can play around every lane, and you need to shut down Cap so he will pop off, and that's kind of scary and hard to prepare. And yeah, that's my point, because I just think that every team except G2 has a certain playstyle, and you can prep for it, but not for G2.
Yeah. Do you guys think you guys have a very identifiable and beatable playstyle?
decently, I would say. I mean, everyone can carry. I think that was the biggest issue today for Vitality, that they only had Cabo as like the potential carry, and if he weren't going to do it, then no one was going to do it. So I think the scariest teams to go up against are teams that have multiple members who can carry, or have the enemy jungle who can carry. Because, for example, today when we play against Vitality, right, we know that Cabo is going to be the threat, so he's on top lane, so we just need to care of this portion of the map, right? But when you play against a team like SK, even though you know that Selfmade is going to play really well, you don't know where he's going to play really well, because he can be everywhere. He's a jungler. Same goes for teams that have multiple members who can pop up. You don't really know where the threat is going to be. So,
is that different from last year? Is there more possibilities for teams?
I guess that's kind of what you wanted to get at before. So potentially I would say yes to that, because when we were playing Schalke, for example, in the finals last year, we felt like if they weren't going to do it through bot lane, then it was probably not going to happen. Like Vishishachi is not a player who carries, you know, and even Nuktak last year wasn't necessarily the carry either. He was more of an enabler, I would say, towards upset. So maybe this year there are more teams with more carries, but I don't think like the strength of the teams have been like broadened. I don't think there's like more teams now that are scarier. I think it's just different ways of being scary.
I see. You want to add something?
I think we have more teams with better overall rosters, not necessarily like an individual player being a lot better than he was last split, but I think, you know, you bring up Schalke as an example from last split, where they had Chachi obviously mainly just playing tanks, and then Amazing, who also really wanted to stick to tank junglers, which made it hard for them to be very unpredictable in the way they would draft. I think the big surprise they had was the Skarner, and the moment that was shown in the final, it was kind of like, okay, now you know everything they're going to do. if I look at G2, Fnatic, and Origin now, I feel like there is better players overall across all 5. If you put all 5 together in the skill level and you combine that, which means there are more ways you can win games. Obviously, our play style so far, if you look at how we've been winning a lot of games, it's not necessarily every lane just hard winning and all the turrets just dying at like 10 minutes. But I think we have seen Patrick carry games, we've seen Nukdog carry games, and we've seen Alfari carry games.
Cold.
And Cole, of course, have been able to show up in the early game. So I'm not saying we are like a team where you have to suddenly be super scared that every single player will just destroy you. But I think all our guys have shown they can actually carry games.
Yeah, and we'll see, of course, a lot of teams we haven't seen, or any teams except for you guys, we've seen in the best of 5s in the split. So we'll take a look. Also, remember that you can still get your tickets for the main event in Rotterdam on the 13th and 14th of April, eu.lollesports.com/Rotterdam. Remember, Saturday, semifinal, Sunday, final, and you'll see G2 and OG for sure, and perhaps Fnatic or Splice or SK. So we'll see, of course. Now, tomorrow, we're also going to find out who Fnatic is going to play in round 2. Splice and SK are going to close